Lorraine?
Hello one and all, welcome to an all new video. So this is going to be another awesome movie review for you guys of a new film that just got released on HBO Max and into theaters this past Friday. It is also a sequel and an amazing trilogy of awesome horror films that are just really fantastically done, really interesting, and have been a huge success that have done a lot of great for the horror community. So we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. And as always, people, if you enjoy my content and want to see other cool content that I put out, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where I also post things of the movie nature and fun stuff like that. So definitely check those out too. And as always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past Friday on HBO Max and into theaters, and is a horror sequel film of a great trilogy of films that are just really well done and have had a huge success in the horror community. And that of course happens to be the film called The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Oh yeah, the devil made me do it. Ooh. So this film is actually based on a true life story, or a real story that happened back in 1981, where there was this gentleman that was 19 years old at the time that committed murder, and he said basically he did it because he was possessed by a demon. And the Warrens, who are known for the Conjuring films, are known in the supernatural community as being, demonologists and stuff like that, ghost hunters and so forth, actually helped on the case to try to get the kid off, by, really, making it and show that he really was possessed, and that's the reason why he did it. And the movie is based on that story, but very loosely. They took liberties because they're Hollywood and stuff like that, but, to make it more interesting. But basically it is based on that story that happened back in 1981. Now, this film, I went into it because I actually haven't seen the first two Conjuring films. I wasn't sure how well this was going to be, how good it was going to be, or what I was expecting, because from the trailer, like I said in my trailer reaction, this movie looked really interesting, and it looked like it was going to be a decent film, and it ended up being not too bad of a film. I was actually surprised. I thought they did a really good job. Now, this movie is none other directed by a gentleman that goes by the name of Michael Chavez. Oh yeah, Michael Chavez. Ooh, Michael Chavez. Yeah. So this is actually Michael's second film that he's actually directed in Hollywood, and he actually is known for doing mini shorts on the internet and just short films basically. And actually one of the ones that he's really well known for is called Chase the Champions, which I haven't checked out, I haven't watched, but I have heard that it was very successful, and that's kind of what got people's eyes and wanted him to actually do other things. He's also known for doing the music video for Billie Eilish called Bury My Friend, which I think is interesting too. So he's done some music videos, he's done short films, and then he's done a few other, he's only directed one other actual film, which was a theatrical release that was his very directorial debut, which is a movie I'm going to talk about that I actually have seen. And that, of course, happens to be the film that I think was a really amazing film that was a great part of the Conjuring universe. And that, of course, is a film called The Curse of La Llorona. Oh yeah, The Curse of La Llorona. Ooh, that film was so good, and I thought Michael did an amazing job directing it, and I think that's why he ended up getting this gig on making this, because this film had a lot of the same feeling as The Curse of La Llorona, and I just thought The Curse of La Llorona was really well done. I liked the whole aspect of it. I liked the telling of the story of, what the legend of La Llorona is, and just, I thought Linda Cardellini and everyone that was involved in the film just did a really good job in giving us this really interesting and very well done film that just was really enjoyable and a great addition to the Conjuring universe. I thought Michael did an amazing job of giving us some really great, just really good thriller aspects besides the whole supernatural aspect to the film, and gave us some good, like, scenes where there was some really good, like, jump moments for people that, that kind of thing gets them. And he just made a really well-rounded film there. Now, when it comes to him directing The Conjuring 3, I thought he did a really good job, too, just like he did with Crystal Llorona. I thought that once again, he brought that great kind of thriller vibe to the film, besides it being just a supernatural, like, kind of like horror film. He also gave us a lot of great information, great cutscenes that just worked really well and were very intricately done, too, as well. That had some really good, like, scare jump moments, too, for the people that enjoy that type of thing, that, it does make them, jump. And I thought he also did a good job of just giving a really good, interesting story, too, that went very well with the true-based story that it's based off of, but at the same time, it gave those liberties that they gave it to make it a little bit more entertainment-wise, versus it being like a documentary, and I thought that he did a good job with that, too, as well, giving us that interesting story that just worked really well. And I just thought that he did a well-rounded job with the film and just gave us a really fun film. If you haven't seen anything else by Michael Chavez, definitely check out Crystal Llorona. He did an amazing job with that film. And definitely check out this new Conjuring film. He did a great job with that too as well. So this movie doesn't have a huge cast, but definitely a great cast at that. And of course we have two people coming back from the other two Conjuring films to bring back to life these two great characters that they've, brought to the big screen for us, that, the Warrens themselves were, thought that they did such a great job, especially Lorraine, who, pretty much was alive through most of these films being released, and she always thought that they did a good job of bringing her character to the big screen and giving her some, definitely a good aspect of who she was, and she always enjoyed that. But of course, this film, like I said, is a very interesting film with this great cast. Now, to start us off is none other Lorraine Warren herself, Miss Vera Farmiga. Oh yeah, Vera Farmiga, woo! Vera Farmiga, woo! So Vera Farmiga, you might recognize from the other two Conjuring films. You might also recognize her from, of course, Bates Motel. You also might recognize her from a film with George Clooney called Into the Air. But a couple films I really enjoyed her and thought that she was really fantastic in are as followed. Now, the first film happens to be a 2006 film that stars the late, great Paul Walker, and I think in one of his best roles ever besides the Fast and Furious franchise. And that, of course, the film called Running Scared. Oh yeah, Running Scared. Ooh. So Running Scared is like a thriller, action-packed film with a little bit of drama in it. That is just a really great thriller film that has a huge cast besides Vera Farmiga, Paul Walker. It had Chaz Permanente in it, and just, a slew of people, Cameron Bright. But this movie was just so amazing and so well done. And Paul Walker was so amazing in this film. He was so real. He was so on point in this film. And it just really, that accentuated how great Vera Farmiga was in it too. And Vera Farmiga, I just really enjoyed her as the wife character of Paul Walker. And I thought she brought a great realism to the character. And I also thought she just did a good job of giving us some really great emotions throughout the film, with a person that would have to be dealing with the aspect of Paul Walker's job in the film. And just how she reacted and acted with Cameron Bright and all the other characters throughout the film, she just gave a really outstanding performance that I think went unrecognized for how great a performance it was. I felt that her performance in this was very similar to her character in Orphan, where she just brought such a great, like I was saying earlier, realism, but also at the same time you felt for her and you really felt the emotion for her. And she just did a good job of portraying that. Really great film. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a whirl, people. Running Scared is an amazing film with great performances by everyone around. Now, the second film that Vera was in that I really enjoyed her and thought she was really fantastic in was another great sci-fi film that came out in the 2010s and is directed by none other than the gentleman Duncan himself, that is Mr. David Bowie's son. And that, of course, is the film called Source Code. Oh yeah, Source Code. Yeah, Duncan Jones, yeah. Starring the great Jake Gyllenhaal. Ooh, oh my god, this movie is so amazing. One of my favorite one of my favorite sci-fi films. I think it's so well done, so clever, and Vera Farmiga was just really awesome in the film. I really enjoyed her in it. I thought she did a good job of portraying the character. I enjoyed her emotion and empathy, and I liked how she kind of gave it like a little bit of class too to the character, and gave us this really well-rounded performance that also made you feel for her. You also felt you could see what it would be like to think, I have to deal with this situation, as this military person, and how do I feel about, this soldier guy that's basically just a brain and part of a chest. How am I supposed to, react to how he's emotionally dealing with this mentally, even though he's pretty much barely alive, and so forth. And I just thought Vera did a great job of portraying a person that would have to be dealing with that, and having to just, do these types of due diligence that she's given by her, superiors and so forth. It just was a really well-rounded performance, like I said, and just really fun. I really enjoyed her in it. If you haven't seen Source Code, definitely give it a roll, people. She is fantastic in the film. Now, it comes to performances, Lorraine in this Conjuring film. Like I said, I haven't seen her other performances in the other two Conjurings, but I really enjoyed her in it. I thought she did a good job. I thought that she brought a great essence to who Lorraine was. I thought she did a great job of portraying a person that, if you really do believe in this types of stuff, what it would be like to have to deal with this. What it would be like, being terrified basically out of your wits because, these supernatural creatures are basically screwing with you, and you having to deal with it and try to stop it so that you can save something else. And I just thought that Vera did a great job of bringing that to life, giving us a different aspect of what it'd be like, and just I thought it was another great addition to that Conjuring universe, for those who have seen the other Conjuring films. Really well-rounded performance again. I enjoyed her emotions. I enjoyed her, interceptions and conversations that she had with Patrick Wilson and the other characters throughout the film. And I just thought she brought a really great empathy to the character, too, as well. If you haven't seen Conjuring 3, yeah, definitely give it a roll, people. Vera was really great in the film. So that brings me to the second actor I'll be talking about that's in this film. And pretty much the only other really known actor that's in this film and is a part of the great Conjuring universe. And that, of course, is Mr. Patrick Wilson! Oh yeah, Patrick Wilson! Woo! Patrick Wilson! Yeah! So Patrick Wilson, awesome actor. He's been in a ton of films over the years. He's always great in pretty much everything he does. He always brings a great snideness. He always brings a great characterization to his characters, and just is a really awesome actor. Now, a couple of films I've seen him in and thought he was really great are as followed. Now, the first film happens to be a 2006 film as well, or 2005 film, that the movie itself I'm not a huge fan of, but I am a huge fan of Patrick Wilson's performance in the film. And that, of course, is a film called Hard Candy. Oh yeah, Hard Candy. Ooh. So Hard Candy, if you're not familiar, is like a psychological thriller film with Ellen Page at the time, now Elliot Page, that basically she entraps Patrick Wilson's character to try to get him to admit that he caused her friend's death, basically, or her disappearance, or so forth. And basically, he plays, kind of like the victim character dealing with this and like trying to get through this ordeal without losing many parts to his body nonetheless, and just dealing with this whole situation of this teenage girl taking him captive. And I just thought Patrick did an amazing job of portraying a person that would be dealing with this. Like, you really felt for him. You really felt that he was really going through this. And I just thought he did such an amazing job of portraying this character. And you just feel so bad for him. And you're just like, why is this girl doing this? He says he didn't do it. Like, why aren't you listening to him? And just Patrick did a great job of conveying that and giving this, this impression of a person that would be dealing with this type of situation if this ever happened. And I just thought it was a really well-rounded performance by Patrick, and I just, thought he was so fantastic. If you haven't seen Hard Candy for Patrick Wilson, definitely check him out. He was really fantastic in the film. Now, the second film that Patrick Wilson was in that I really enjoyed him in is a great newer film that came out in 2018 and is a part of the great, massive DC universe. And that, of course, is a film called Aquaman. Oh, yeah. Aquaman. Ooh, Aquaman. Absolutely loved him in this film. I thought he was great as his character in the film, opposite of Jason Momoa. You know, he just played the character to the T. I thought he did a really amazing job. I wasn't really familiar with the character before I saw the film, and then I did a little research and, you know, checked out the comic books a little bit. And Patrick Wilson actually grabbed him by the T. He really, you know, embodied this character and really gave us this, like, you know, awesome characterization of who Ocean Master is. And he just was really bomb, and I just really enjoyed him. I love the physicality he brought to the film. I love the interactions with him and Aquaman themselves and their fight sequences, and just his whole persona of this character just was on point awesome. Can't wait to see him in Aquaman 2 to see what he brings to Ocean Master even more. He just was really well, you know, amazing in this film. Really fantastically done. If you haven't seen Aquaman, definitely check it out. Patrick Wilson was a really great addition to that film. Now, it comes to his performance in The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I thought he did a good job as playing the other Warren, and I really enjoyed him. I thought that he had a great class to him. I liked the presentation he brought to the character. I liked the warmness and the kind of like dad feel that he gave to the character, and how he truly, genuinely felt for these people and was trying to help them. And I just thought that Patrick did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really great presentation of who, you know, Ed was. And I just thought that it was a really great performance. If you haven't seen The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It yet, definitely go check it out on HBO Max now. Go to theaters. It's definitely worth the performance for Patrick Wilson. He was really great in it and a great addition to that film. So what is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It basically about? So like I was saying before, basically the premise of the film is there's this young man who basically ends up killing another person and is put on trial for his murder. And basically what has happened is that supposedly he was possessed by a demon, and that's what caused him to do it. And so the Warrens are brought in after they have already tried to help somebody, a kid that he knows was also possessed by the supposed demon, and was accidentally transferred to the man who was on trial. And basically it's about them trying to, you know, prove that he was actually possessed, and that's what caused him to commit the murder, and to get him off of getting you know, basically you know, capital punishment of, you know, being executed, basically, and to get him off. And that's pretty much what the movie's about, basically showing the Warrens going through and trying to figure out who this demon is, why he did it, and, you know, why they caused it, and, like, how to get rid of him, basically, to help this boy out, and to also prove that he's actually innocent. It's a really well done film. I would, you know, I highly recommend checking it out. It's definitely a great addition to the Conjuring universe, a great, you know, ending to the trilogy of the Conjuring films. It was so well directed by Michael Chavez, and just as good as Curse of La Llorona. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. I don't know if I would ever own it, but definitely I would, you know, maybe watch it again down the road. I thought it was, you know, enjoyable, well done, and just a really well-rounded film in all. I give this one 7 out of 10 Golden Movie Boxes up. Definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the viewing, and, you know, to also finish off watching the complete trilogy of the Conjuring universe. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before, don't forget to check out those older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, people, check out my awesome links down below where you can see access to my awesome Patreon page where it helps the guy out. And also, it gives you exclusive content to cool stuff such as bloopers, outtakes, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So definitely check that out too, people. And also, if you're a huge horror fan, such as this Conjuring film, definitely check out my link for the horror pack where you can get great horror films right to your door for a great low price every month. So definitely check that out too, people. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one!